Ben. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and I moved to New York when me and my daughter started up a company called Visual Cherry Bomb. We create video content for restaurants and entrepreneurs and really any business that's trying to reach their audience, sell a product, or train their team. So one of the things that we wanted to do when we first started off was contact a few restaurants. That's how we got started in the business. And one of the places that we really wanted to go to and find out more about was Serendipity 3. Now, if you saw the movie that was released back in 2001, this stars John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. There's an iconic scene where they're sitting down and they're enjoying the world famous frozen hot chocolate that Serendipity has. So back in 2017, we were able to set up an interview with one of the co-founders, Stephen Bruce. And I interviewed Mr. Bruce. We had a great time there. We actually sat at that table, and I'll put a link at the bottom so you can watch that video if you want. But Serendipity 3 is one of our favorite spots in New York. It's so iconic, and it's just got that feel of, if you've ever been in there, it just feels like fun. Not only do they have amazing desserts and other foods, but you really feel like you've stepped into another time frame. You know, back when things are enjoyable and fun. It's a way to escape the city for a little while. Here's a little tip. If you are visiting New York and you want to go to Serendipity 3, don't just show up or you're likely to wait in a line that's 3 hours plus. Call and make a reservation. It really does make a difference. So this week, Serendipity 3 announced their new line of ice cream. And they've got several flavors. I've got 3 here. Spoiler alert, I've already tried all 3 of these. I've already actually eaten all 3 of these. But I wanted to talk about each one of these flavors, and then I'm going to try another flavor that I haven't opened yet called Humble Pie. This is your traditional vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry base flavors, but they've really done something special with them. And that'll come as no surprise. If you've ever seen Joe Calderone's videos where he's making the golden opulent sundae or their famous grilled cheese, you know he always adds something extra. And as a side note, one of the ways they're promoting this product is through a contest. You remember the old Willy Wonka contest with the golden tickets? This is a similar approach. They've hidden a golden ticket inside one of these pints, and that ticket is a voucher for a free golden opulent sundae. This is a $1,000 dessert. It has real gold on it. It would be an amazing thing to win. So that's a very cool way to launch a product like this. So the first thing that happened was I got an email from Joe saying that they were coming out with this ice cream, and they were really excited about it. And he told me, that it would be launched, there would be a press release soon. And I started seeing some things on their Instagram. And one of the things that surprised me was they're selling this at 7-Eleven. And they're going to start selling it at the greater metro New York area. I wasn't exactly sure what that meant. Does that include all 5 boroughs? Does that just include Manhattan? I doubt they're going to make it all the way out to East Flatbush in Brooklyn. So I was curious about that. And the night before they launched the ice cream, I was actually at Penn Station, and I stopped in and I asked one of the 7-Elevens that was nearby. I just walked up to the cashier and I said, "Hey, do y'all know about this Serendipity ice cream? Y'all going to have it tomorrow?" And they had no idea what I was talking about. So I was like, I live out in Brooklyn. I'm going to be shocked if they actually have it in Brooklyn tomorrow, but we'll see. I walk over to a 7-Eleven that's about a half a mile from me, and I walk in the door and I go to their frozen food section, which is really just, your typical novelty ice cream, sandwiches, those type things, and I didn't see any ice cream. So I was leaving the store, and then I noticed another stand-up cooler, and there it was. Their ice cream was right there. They had all the flavors. They had plenty of stock. So I reached to grab the door and open it, and when I tried to open it, it was locked, which I thought was really cool. It's almost like, you know, you can touch and feel everything else on display at 7-Eleven, but to get to this, they're going to have to go bring a key and unlock it, which didn't take any time at all. The guy came over, we had a great conversation. I like that they have this behind lock and key. Maybe it was just at my 7-Eleven that did that. I don't know. Maybe they're doing that everywhere. Maybe they do that with all their ice cream. There was another brand of ice cream there, but this is what I was looking for. So I grabbed these 3 flavors, the first thing. The first flavor I tried was the Vanilla Vogue. And, you know, one of the things that Serendipity talks about a lot is their Madagascar vanilla. They go to a lot of effort to get just the right ingredients in their products, and this is no exception. The flavor of this, I'm not a food review kind of guy, but I've got to tell you, the flavor was really, really good. The texture was really good. So, you know, the first thing I noticed was it was filled to the brim. I mean, it is filled to the top. The second thing I noticed was the ice cream base itself kind of stands alone. You don't have to have a lot of extra things in the ice cream for it to taste great if you know what you're doing with the ingredients. And, you know, if I'm comparing this to a Bluebell ice cream, which my family loves, we kind of consider that to be, you know, a top shelf ice cream. This was every bit as good as that, a little bit better actually. And I'm contributing that probably to the Madagascar vanilla. But I typically don't like vanilla. You know, that's not my favorite flavor. I ate all this in one sitting. The next flavor I tried was the frozen hot chocolate. Now, this says it's got the whipped cream swirl and chocolate shavings, which it does, but it's not overpowering. It's not like you've got Rocky Road here and there's gobs of marshmallow and chocolate chip bits. It does have that, but it's not so overpowering. They've done a really good job of letting the ice cream sort of speak for itself, and the extra ingredients or toppings just kind of complement it. But it's not this overly ooey gooey ice cream. So, you know, if that's what you're looking for, this is not that. It's the flavor of the chocolate in the ice cream speaks for itself. You know, the frozen hot chocolate at Serendipity, they say has 14 different blends of cocoa. I don't know how many they put in this. It tasted very similar to their frozen hot chocolate. It didn't taste exactly like it, but it was very close. And it was a really, really good chocolate ice cream. The next flavor I tried was the Strawberry Fields. Strawberry Fields, of course, in Central Park. This has bits of cheesecake and strawberries. And again, it's the same situation. It's not overpowering with the toppings. They really let the ice cream and the flavor of the strawberry come through just in the base of the ice cream. So these 3, to me, you know, you've got your chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. These 3 flavors are the cores of any ice cream. So I want to talk about those first. Another thing I wanted to say was the pricing. You know, I wasn't sure how much they were going to charge for this. Joe didn't tell me up front. So, you know, the Golden Opulence Sundae is $1,000. I forget exactly how much the frozen hot chocolate is, but, you know, typically you're not going to Serendipity 3 because you want a cheap meal. So I wasn't sure how much they were going to charge. You know, in my mind, these type ice creams usually cost somewhere between $4 or $5, you know, sometimes $6, depending on what the dairy market's doing. But these were $6.99, which to me, before I tasted them and I saw the price, I was surprised that it was that low. I knew going into it that Serendipity would have a high quality product, and they absolutely do. It wasn't going to surprise me if it was $10. You know, I would have thought that would have been high, but I would have still bought it to try it and see if it was worth it. This is every bit worth $6.99. So, like I said, they're selling them at 7-Eleven, and I wasn't sure exactly why they're doing that, but now I think I get it. I might have to interview them to find out for sure, you know, what their thoughts on that were. But when I saw that at my local 7-Eleven, all the way out at the end of the 5 and the 2 here in Brooklyn, it's a distribution thing. They're bringing you this product no matter where you're at in New York. So you don't have to go to their store to get it. I don't even know if they're selling it there. They're probably not. But 7-Elevens are all over the place in New York. And I hear that they're going to extend that in 2019 across the country. Haven't confirmed that, but I heard some rumors that in 2019 you'll be able to get this in Memphis or wherever else you are in the United States. So stay tuned for that. Now I'm going to try a flavor here live on video, the humble pie and the birthday cake. I think the reason why they're selling this at 7-Eleven is so you can enjoy it no matter where you're at. You don't have to be near Central Park. You don't have to be at Serendipity 3. You know, you can find this in your local neighborhood. And that makes sense to me. This is the humble pie Serendipity 3 flavor of ice cream. It says it has peanut butter ice cream with peanut butter swirls, chocolate chunks, and graham pieces. So kind of like a s'mores, but with peanut butter. I like the colors. The graphics on the package are appealing. It's got some iconic Serendipity 3 graphics on it. That gets my attention. You know, I don't know what that does for anybody else, but for me, it definitely makes me want to buy the product. When I recognize that brand and I associate their brand with quality. So one of the reasons I think the textures are so good on these ice creams is they've got this protective sealer on the ice cream. And you know, with some other pints, even some quality pints of ice cream, they don't go to this trouble. You know, they're not going to put that on there. So, you know, sometimes the ice cream may get freezer burned or it just doesn't hold up to the quality. This tastes like homemade ice cream. And, you know, it just comes right off. Look how full it is. I mean, it's right to the brim. I don't know, you know, if I've ever seen a pint of ice cream that full. So you're getting your $6.99 worth. And, you know, maybe it's more in Manhattan, I don't know, but that's the price in Brooklyn. Again, you can kind of see the base of the ice cream versus the extra ingredients that are in there. They didn't go crazy with the extra ingredients. I think, you know, I haven't interviewed them on this, but I think they're letting the ice cream speak for itself, and the toppings or the extra ingredients are more of a complement to the base of the ice cream that's already really good. So this is the humble pie, the peanut butter flavor. The ice cream's also very cold. It seemed, you know, I don't know if it's the ingredients, but it seems colder and firmer than most ice creams that come in a pint like this. Right out of the store, it was like that. So I don't know if that's more of a 7-Eleven thing or the way the ingredients are inside this ice cream. That might require some chemist expert to explain that. But I like my ice cream to be firm and I like it to be cold. I don't want it melted by the time I get to the house. So I'm not typically a food review guy. That's not what we do. We create video content, usually more in a cinematographic, commercial style. But I can appreciate those guys who do video reviews for food. It's kind of awkward while you're sitting there eating and don't know what to say. You know, you're trying to think of what you're going to say after it. But this is the same as the other flavors. You immediately taste the peanut butter, and it's in the base of the ice cream. You know, the flavor's in there. And then when you get a little chunk of peanut butter, it just kind of adds to it. But there seems to be, you know, the graham cracker bits seem to be throughout the base of the ice cream. And it's really good. I mean, it tastes like peanut butter. It tastes real. It doesn't taste, you know, like some sort of artificial flavor. The texture is really, really smooth. Their ingredients on this product, this is the humble pie. The first ingredient is skim milk, then cream, and then sugar. So I'm not sure if it's the milk. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a food review kind of guy, but I know good ice cream when I taste it, and this is really good. They've really hit a home run with this. You know, I can see them announcing this in 2019 to the rest of the country, and it really taking off. Another flavor is the birthday cake. This is the flavor that I had the highest hopes for. There was a local ice cream place when we lived in Memphis that made one flavor called birthday cake, and it had some blue swirled icing inside of it, and I really loved that. I was hopeful this would have that, but again, they've kind of stuck to let the base of the ice cream speak for itself. The ingredients are the added highlight to it. So the birthday cake has cake flavored ice cream with swirls of pink frosting, cake pieces, and sprinkles. Full disclosure, I've already eaten a lot of this one, you know. I've eaten a lot of ice cream this week. It did not have heavy blue swirls of icing, which is the way I prefer birthday cake ice cream. But the base of the birthday cake ice cream is very familiar to my favorite type of birthday cake ice cream. It does not have that thick blue icing going through the middle of it. You know, in fairness to them, I might be a little bit biased to that. You know, at that other place I was talking about in Memphis, I would order extra icing on the side. They would actually let you do that, and you'd get a little cup of this icing. I like buttercream icing on cakes. I just like that kind of icing. But this again is a really good flavor. The ice cream itself tastes like birthday cake. You know, I don't know if they've put some sort of flavoring in there or blended cake pieces. There is some texture of cake here. I don't know if they have a separate syrup they put in it or what. They're probably not going to reveal all their details of that. But it's really good ice cream, just like the rest. There's two more flavors that I have not tried. One is a banana split type ice cream, or banana pudding. I forget which. And the last one is look like possibly a dark chocolate called Broadway something, I'm not sure. But the marketing on these is amazing. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. I'm really excited about it. We didn't receive the golden ticket for the Opulent Sundae, and I'm not sure, they may be doing more than one of those, but we didn't receive that in here. I'm not sure exactly how that works. You know, if they got it tucked away inside the lid, or inside the carton. Maybe they consulted Willy Wonka on that, I don't know. But it's a really cool contest, so keep an eye out for that. If you're in New York, for the rest of 2018, and you're trying this ice cream at 7-Eleven, watch for that golden ticket, because you may win a golden opulent sundae at Serendipity 3. Let us know what your thoughts are. Are you excited to try this ice cream? Are you surprised to see it in 7-Eleven? Curious to know what everyone thinks about it out there. And if you need video content for your restaurant or your event, your small business, or anything else like that in New York City, then feel free to check out our page at visualcherrybomb.com. We also have an Instagram, and you can feel free to subscribe to this vlog as well, where we do a various array of topics. Have a good rest of the day.